Welcome back to Valley Spotlight. Time for some neighborly legal advice with our buddy Matt Onest. Thank you, Matt, for joining us again. You have to have some of these cannolis.
All right, I will take a bite after we're done talking. I don't want to have food in my mouth.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so today's topic is the will. People and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have one, and it's embarrassing to say. I'm in my mid-50s, don't tell anybody, and I don't have a will. Are there other people out there like me?
A lot of people don't have wills, including a lot of attorneys.
Really?
Don't have wills.
Because we're just lazy, or is there a reason not to have one?
The primary reason, I think, is people don't like to think about death.
Right.
So why would I want to go through the process of talking with an attorney about my death?
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, so I don't feel so bad. But the reason to have one is?
Well, you have to make sure, because when you pass away, your stuff, your property has to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. And so if you leave it without a will, you don't say where your stuff's going to go, then there's laws in Ohio that basically say, okay, here's how everything goes. Now, let me be clear. It may end up going exactly where you wanted it to go anyways, but what we like to do is we like to have that conversation early with somebody as they have more property, because there's a variety of things you can do. A will is just, here's my statement of where I want all of my stuff to go when I pass away. But there are other things that you can do during your life. You can set up a trust, which is, I want to leave something for my kids, my grandkids, whatever that may be, charitable organizations. I want to leave that to them, and I want it to be used for a specific purpose. Because with a will, it says it's going to this person, or even, we do get a lot of people who even want to have, their favorite charity.
Yeah.
You can put them in your will. You could have something that say, let's say, I want a certain amount of my property in terms of dollars to go to my favorite charitable.
I think a lot of people do that to their church, things like that.
Yeah, like what we're hearing about, right? The relocations of the dog pound here. I mean, people might want to leave that for those types of entities.
The difference between a will and a living will is?
Okay, so that will is all about, property, where it's going to go. A living will is if you're in a medical situation, a medical emergency, and maybe you can't make those types of decisions for medical reasons. But let's say you really have, your goal in mind. I don't want to be on machines. I don't want to have, IVs for fluids and food. You need to put that, and you can put that out there so that your loved ones and the doctors know what your wishes are.
All right, a minute to go. Quick hitters here. I don't have a will. I want to get one. Who do I call? How much does it cost?
So you call an attorney, and it depends on the complexity. The easier ones, you're talking a couple $100s. We're not talking substantial amounts of cost.
Okay.
The biggest thing that we deal with people is we kind of want to go through first, what do you own? What do you have? What needs to be covered by a will? I'll give you an example. Your bank accounts, typically your bank accounts have what's called a beneficiary. You can fill that out with your bank. You pass away, it automatically transfers, it doesn't need the will. Same thing with real estate. That's the other big one we tell people. Real estate can be set up without a will to where you can make sure it goes to the person or entity that you want it to go to.
I want to make a change in my will. Do I got to pay for that too?
Typically, yes. You have to draft an amendment to it, and you have to actually sign it. It has to be done as if you're signing a will, and you can make those modifications, but the answer is yes.
My kids are little. I want to leave my stuff to my kids, but they're little. Do I leave it to them anyhow, or do I pick somebody else to kind of guardian over it?
So there's a variety of ways you can do that. You can leave it to them directly. You want to obviously pick a guardian in your will.
Okay.
Pick that there. And you can also set up things to say, you know what, maybe I want it to go into a trust to be held for my kids' benefit, maybe until they get to 21, 22, 25, something like that. Yeah, you absolutely can do all these different things.
Okay, last question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, the biggest pain, how big of a pain is it for people when their parent does not have a will?
It can be difficult because, if you have to get property to be transferred, you have to file what's called a probate case with the court. And if there's not a will, you have to go to what the law says.
Yeah.
And you got to find out who's going to be the person who's going to be like the figurehead, so to speak, with the court.
Sounds like a pain.
It's a pain.
All right, that's your neighborly legal advice for this Sunday. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you.
All right, you promised.
Okay.
All right, this is where we just take a second. And Lauren, over to you.